Okay, I gotta put chat on the screen for a second. I'm not gonna lie, this looks fucking marvelous. There's a stream delay, so you guys are typing this in as the game's already finished, of course. But all the base trades in a row look really cool popping out like that. So thank you guys for being awesome. We are gonna hop into game number 2. As said though, it's a best of 5 in the semifinals for the OlimoLeague. I'm Rifkin, casting with Zombie Grub, and spawning in the top rightish corner of Kenlina. It's gonna be Jin Air's red Protoss trap.
The bottom right has the blue Zerg. It's Axiom's Impact.
Yeah, despite how messy that looked, I guess. I didn't really love that game. He got that 4th base up so quick. He had a lot of money to work with. The tunneling clause was so cool. The burrow was ready for that sentry push, but his choice to actually just actively go for the full-on base trade. I still don't fully understand the thought process of it, but I think a lot of that came down to lack of information, perhaps, not realizing just what was coming his way.
Impact?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like, maybe he did know it. Maybe his hope was that like his opponent would stay at home and defend instead of go across the map. Either way, it did not work out for him.
Yeah, that had to have been a hope. When you go for mutas, you want to get a really big number of mutas, not just 12, before you're forced into that base trade. Usually you're forced in the Protoss into an uncomfortable position, so it definitely was his plan to go for a base trade, but it wasn't his... It was his plan to attack the Protoss, but it wasn't his plan, I think, to go for the base trade. That's not what Impact wanted. Not at that time, anyways. So luckily, Impact got the scout correct here with the Overlord. He sees that the Forge is already down and knows that this could be serious. So he brings down 4 drones. That's nice. I think he was going to try and get away with another 3 after 4 pool, which is what I think he did last game.
I like his almost perfect response. Not really overreacting, but also not underreacting to this because he knows just how dangerous this could have gotten. If the Overlord here did not scout a Forge, guys, we wouldn't have seen this many probes pulled, or drones pulled, pardon me, but he wanted to make sure this did not get out of hand.
Yeah. You know, Impact going for mutas at all last game was a little surprising. I know Lilbo... Wait, no, was it Lilbo? No. Who was it? Who faced Hearthstone in WCS? Lilbo's Protoss, of course. It wasn't him. Oh God, who was it?
Sarah?
I can't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking of like another young person, right? Yeah. Cyril went for a lot of muta-based play, which I always love. I know it always ends in base trades. Maybe some people get really tired of that really quickly, but I love Zerg mutas. No, there's no other type of mutas. I love mutas a lot, and to see another person do it though is a little surprising because it really has not been the main choice. You know, back in maybe like, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, it was either like Roach Hydra or mutas. And Swarm Hosts were like for the 1 or 2 players that liked and bothered to go Swarm Hosts. But now it's like Roach Hydra or Swarm Hosts. And mutas are kind of like shushed to the side.
I think, it's funny because, yeah, a lot of I think PvZ probably into more base trades than most other matchups, just on a... This is me pulling a random statistic out of the air. But what I do enjoy about it, though, is it kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know. All right, you guys get 20 minutes to build things, and then all your production is just going to stop for no reason whatsoever. I mean, that's kind of what it becomes. And whatever you have on the field is what you're going to have to fight with. And sometimes we get these epic, crazy matches, and then sometimes you get really stupid ones, too. But at least, unlike with Terran, you don't float your buildings. You just uproot them instead, am I right? Freaking Zerg.
Yeah, but that's kind of what happened last game. I would call it kind of a dumb game. And not because I'm favorable to either player. It's just, you don't usually see that attack happen so soon. It was little, like, it was abrupt. I did expect the 20-minute game where they were going to, like, depower everything and it was going to be really awesome. And instead it was like, okay, Trap's probably going to win this one. He attacked too soon.
Oh, we got a bracket update. Marine King did beat out Liquid Hero, folks, so it's Marine King versus Salvation in the other semifinals, which guarantees that there will be a versus Terran in the grand finals.
Yeah.
So either TVZ
Perfect
or
balance.
TVP.
2 Terrans and one of every other race.
Shout out to Pseudo Parrot, by the way, so I guess kind of his parrot, but not really. Pseudo Parrot just subbed to the channel as well, so welcome.
Interesting.
But this is going to get scouted, so maybe not so interesting.
There rarely is a reason to, or it seems that there rarely is a reason to go ahead and proxy anything but a Dark Shrine versus a Zerg player.
Yeah.
Because the Stargate can go into a macro game just as easily as it can go to an all-in, and it's really the gateway count that usually tells you which one it is.
Well, that and with Catalina being as small as it is, I don't feel you get as big of a benefit. Like, middle over here, you're a little bit closer to your opponent's third, I guess, but same argument can be made for the main.
Yeah, I think he wasn't going to go for any type of all-in, but rather, if you catch someone by surprise with an Oracle, it does get like 10 kills. The Queen isn't enough DPS, but if they have a Sport Crawler, a completely different story. So the thing is, by canceling it, Impact is still not expecting, I think, a Stargate. Yeah, he didn't invest in any Sport Crawlers. So Chop still might be able to surprise him.
But I guess the catch is it is hitting much later, so Impact might just not care, so to speak.
Ooh, this is how did the Stalkers get out of there? I don't even. What's okay?
Wow,
what?
that second
No!
one. Okay, it started derping a little bit towards
Justice.
the end. Yeah.
This is scary, man. Like, the Oracle wasn't there to help out. Not that it would have, suddenly turned us into a winning situation as much roaches were out, but it would have helped, and the recall would have gone down. But now there is a pretty sizable force from Impact going. It won't be able to break the natural. It is very difficult to break a Paralysis natural, but it's going to hold off a third for a long time. Trap has to make a difficult choice here. Goes for Void Ray.
That's not a bad choice at all. But you're right, like, this is the thing for Impact. Even if it's not a game-ending move, containing and pressuring can be just as good, depending how long this extends to. But Force Wheels do go down, and the Roaches are going to struggle to get really anything done.
Are they going to target on the Forge?
Yeah, might be able to break through the Forge, but there's still going to be more Force Fields behind this. I think he's got 2 more in him.
No, well, not enough Force Fields. He needs to warp in more sentries. Okay, gets the Forge and backs out. I like this choice. He probably could have gotten through. He would have forced his way, but it wouldn't have been worth it. Now he still has, some units to try and at least get a cancel on a potential third. Like, if he went right now, I think he'd get a cancel easily.
Does he know about it, actually? Okay, he does. He sees it with the Overlord, just barely. How do you even see it? Okay, whatever. Vision, please.
Yeah. Goes for it now, and I guess he still will get it. I thought Trap was going to go over there and defend. Nope.
Good cancel, good cancel. The Void Ray can clean up these links eventually.
Oh, yeah. Void Ray was really more for the roaches.
I feel like it never really dawned on me, but a Void Ray's attack is literally some kid with a magnifying glass. Like, on top of Zerglings and ants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And like, you angle it perfectly, that's when the prismatic alignment comes into effect. Like, the beam is super focused, so it does a little bit more damage. But your hand isn't perfect, so it shakes a little bit, and that's why after 8 seconds, you get fatigued. Okay, anyways, this is one of those moments where you're like, oh, that's so cool. Now, there's no pylons out here, so this push is kind of limited. I like the pressure he's going to put on with this, but he's got to be careful, because this many sentries, and if these go down, it's, going to be costly.
Yeah. He has a recall, but without a pylon, this is not really a lot of pressure. It could have been, I think. 7 gateways with 2 more finishing up. Again, the recall would have saved him anyways.
Yeah, if there was either a Warp Prism or pylons down, I think this would have been a little bit more dedicated towards maybe taking down Impact's third. And it's something he could have done, because he would have caught Impact in this timing when Hydras are on the way, but not quite here. Oracle does go to the main, gets about 3 kills, gets the gas mining drone specifically, but Impact immediately replaces those.
Well, Trap does get his third up. Unfortunately, because of the timing, the extra gateways went down on his main as opposed to protecting the third either as a wall or at least stopping the lings being on top of that cannon. So a little sacrifice right there. But he's still trying to be scary, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it's no longer really the case as Impact has gotten a kind of sizable Hydra army. And I think he's going to go up to Hive here. He did get an Infestation Pit. What's it for?
It'd be really weird to see Swarm Host in this instance. Hive makes a lot more sense. There we go. In fact, starts it up. So whether it's Abducts, Blinding Clouds, or even just going to use that Tier 3, one thing is for certain, I like Impact's position, I think, a lot more this game. Even if, like, let's say this was some weird base trade similar to last game, he's got a lot better composition to fight with. The Hydra's going to be so good at blasting these Stalkers into submission. There is Blink. And +2 Blink Stalkers, kind of the staple build of Protoss all around right now, but it is a situation where Hydra's just bring that so much extra DPS to the party.
He's trying to get that SimCity up on the third, which would usually help, but sometimes can actually hinder. I like the way that he did it, just like diagonal, so your army can still get up there and not just like derp. I also like that he went for Storm as opposed to Colossus. I don't know if this was planned originally, but I think it's more at the result of he knew a Hive was going to be on the way. And was like, well, what's the point of getting Colossus? They're just immediately going to go down. I need High Templars.
Yeah, Storm's going to melt Los Angeles in the back end of this, but it's so far from finishing for this fight. So Impact tries to wrap around on the ground side. Coming up from the, I guess, low ground, does more force fields go down, but he's pretty much out of forces. He's got, I think, 3 left at this point.
Sounded like space. The Hydras are still shooting over those force fields, and this is the problem with Catalina especially. If you force field yourself off and think you're pretty good at the third, they can't just go to your natural and start sniping off the forge or MX or whatever is out there. Storm is so close to finishing.
There we go, done.
It's done.
He can hold. Storm's got to go down before the gateways break. Impact going to sit there and eat them. That's going to cost him a lot of Hydralisks, but you know, what you described in the middle of this fight, I think would have rather seen him go towards the natural base. I mean, this is the risk you get force fielded in to your opponent's natural from behind, but either way, like, he really didn't do much damage to this third.
Yeah, he saw a kill move, and it wasn't quite there, so he is paying a little bit for it. I mean, he did have a very nice army, and now it's an okay army. And the Vipers, I don't think will complement it nearly enough, not only because there aren't any Colossus, but because, well, there's, you know, Vipers are a support unit, not a not a battle unit, so... This is a little scary for both players, really. He doesn't have any more sentries.
Yeah, I mean, like, Impact's army value isn't looking too bad. His drone count being on 77 between 4 bases, like, this is definitely what's keeping him afloat in this game, but it's Roaches versus units that are like Immortals, Stalkers, Archons, like, everything that Trap has deals bonus damage to Impact, and Impact, sadly, does not deal bonus damage to Trap. So, Concave spreading, good fights, I mean, these are all things he's going to have to do, and even bleeding out 1 or 2 Roaches here is kind of deadly. We do have those Blinding Clouds waiting to go down. They're going to take the Immortals out of the fight. They get a little bit stuck with the block. Stalkers blink forward and just unblock them entirely. An Impact, oh, what does he have left to fight with? But nothing at all. 2 Hydralisks on that ramp. We got some units on the way, but Trap will take game number 2.